The woman was in for a big surprise during a job interview when she discovered that the owner of the law firm was none other than her ex-boyfriend from 5 years ago. Their reunion was a mix of familiarity and strangeness, but there was a clear hostility in the man's gaze. Years ago, they had deeply loved each other until the day her father lost control and killed her mother. In an act of revenge, she ended up killing her own father, which led to her imprisonment. Despite this, the man's love for her never wavered. He even gave her a ring, promising to wait for her. But without hesitation, she threw it away, unwilling to drag him into her personal hell. What she didn't know was that his love was stronger than she had imagined. For 2 years, he waited for her without giving up. On the day of her release, he waited from morning until night, only to be told by a guard that she had been released several days earlier. The man was devastated, unable to understand why she didn't want to see him. 5 years passed. The woman returned from abroad and, right after an interview, ran into the one person she had never stopped loving. Their eyes met, but soon his assistant sensed a familiarity between them, prompting the man to pretend not to know her, just as she had predicted. As she left the building, he silently watched her from a second-floor window. Hurt by what had happened, she decided to give up on the opportunity. But at every subsequent interview, she was rejected. Just when she had lost all hope, the man passed by in his car and offered her a ride. Remembering his coldness, she coldly refused. But seeing how resentful she was, he picked her up and carried her straight into the car. In that instant, the air filled with a familiar feeling. She sat calmly, hiding her vulnerability. But just before getting out, a simple gesture of concern from him broke down all her emotional defenses. She remembered how he used to care for her when she was sick. They were two people who had once loved each other deeply, now acting like strangers. The next morning, the woman received a call from the firm. She had been accepted. She knew perfectly well it was his doing, though she had no desire to reconnect with him. Still, for the sake of her son, she decided to return to her ex-boyfriend's law firm. Upon entering, she discovered she had her own office and threw herself completely into her work. Hours passed unnoticed until nighttime when the phone rang. It was her son, and she realized she had forgotten to pick him up. In a panic, she called her best friend for help, then rushed to deliver some documents to the man's office. Seeing her so flustered, he deliberately delayed her a little longer, until she finally admitted she had something urgent to attend to. Curious about her secret, he offered to drive her himself. But no one expected that, upon arriving at the residential complex, they would come face to face with her best friend and her son.